They're just they're actually the same thing you're doing now. Actually, they're charity. You pick containers
okay.
and it donates to that charity.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ping SmileCRO so he knows that we are doing his replay. I see there's some other replays that have been submitted, so while we get this game going, I'll go ahead and drop those as well. Ooh, Tashkent.
I think I'm gonna head out in the meantime.
All right, take care, Toxic.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, dude.
Doing too many things at once.
I totally don't know what you're talking about.
when it got to the part where we were talking about a ship, I was like looking at devlog store. I got too confused. Like updating the wiki as we speak.
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
Yeah, because we've done the change logs. Now we're doing testing logs.
Hey.
Whole can of worms. Anyways, have a good one.
You have a good one.
All right, you too. SF, yeah, I mean, if you want me to use that, and you gifted some subs, so if you want me to use that today, let me know. You sent me a Z52 game and said it was the dumbest game ever. So what's this year's Makarov for people? The shortlist chip? I always thought it was the Benham because I've been seeing a lot of Benhams out there.
Or maybe people have just been getting lucky. Of course, I did talk in brief about the Benham earlier, basically summed it up as take a Fletcher, but give it the ability to bomb a torpedo without actually going into specifics. The specifics of the Benham, it's basically it's a completely different class of ship. It's a Benham class, 1500 tonner. This is came before the Benson, the Fletchers, and the Gearings. It's 14.5 kHP base, which is, I believe, the lowest of all Tier 9 DDs. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It has the lowest HP pool of all Tier 9 destroyers base. Right?
It might, but you know, the thing is, ships like this, you don't look much at a lot of the other stats, so I just never care. I look at a Benham, I'm like, damn it, I gotta. If it's on the enemy team, I'm thinking, damn it, I gotta fight this thing again. So you know.
So chat, if you just take a look at the torpedo reload indicator, look how fast SmileCRO's torpedoes are coming up again. Benham's signature gimmick is the stupidly quick torpedo reload. She has a base torpedo reload of 85 seconds, and she has 16 torpedoes, 2 quad banks on each side of the ship. Now, with the full torpedo build, get that torpedo reload down to 65 seconds, which means you can chuck torpedoes from both sides, and by the time the first set of torpedoes has finished reloading, you have your first set of torpedoes are still in the water.
Yep. You just basically sit and spin and fire off torpedoes, and that's without adrenaline rush triggering, by the way. So if you're a low health Benham, oh my god, are you a threat?
Low health Benham plus Halsey? Oh jeez. That's like...
That's what I mean, like...
It's like...
That's the nightmare scenario right there.
It's like, I know where the torpedoes are coming from, because if you're low health, you've obviously been shot at, but it's like, I have to dodge wall after wall after wall of torpedoes to, you know, get to it. And that's
you can see already SmileCRO landing a couple of torpedoes early on. Not only did he do that, he also got the C cap. So, I mean, the thing about the Benham is you play it very similar to a Shimakaze in that you want to be where the enemy is going to push, because that's where your torpedoes can do the most damage. So if you look at the minimap, he's determined that the enemy's not coming to C. So he's already rotating to the side that he thinks is going to fall, which is the A cap. And I agree with him. I think that's very smart.
Yes. The other thing is, if you take a look at the matchmaking, the enemy team doesn't have any radars. I mean, there's a potential one for the UE Edinburgh, but if sense dictates what sense does, you know, they won't have radars. They do have a carrier in play, but the Indomitable appears to be on the other side of them. So SmileCRO is not really in any trouble here. So, in essence, he can basically do whatever. So he can just run, just torpedo all ships left and right and center.
That's right. I'm just moving a couple of things over so that we can clean up the screen just a tad. Turn the Stevie cam off because he's not here. There we go. I'll try to clean up the UI a little bit so we can still have the donation stuff up there. Now, look at the enemy team. They're doing a very nice job of finding the bottom left corner of the map and sitting there. So that's going to give SmileCRO the ability to just go where the hell he feels like. He's going into B cap now, which is very smart. He might also take the cap for free. And then he can just take the channel and go right over to A cap. So he's going to get 3 full caps here. Oh, by the way, you mentioned Imagine Halsey on this thing. He is running Halsey.
Oh boy.
I see the 5-star pennant up there. So if he gets... The way Halsey works, guys, is if he gets a... what's it called? A Confederate achievement. Then he sees a boost to his reload for primary and torpedo. Primary guns and torpedoes. These are normal replays, Darkpunk.
Yeah, so what that means is, okay, Indomitable's coming in now, so he's definitely going to be spotted. Because
yeah, I'm surprised he didn't smoke.
I mean, I don't think he could have, because the Otago is right there, but at the same time, the Otagos were pretty safe.
So, if he smoked as those bombers were coming, the bombers probably wouldn't have detected him until he was right above him. Switch to guns and finish this poor sucker off. Or never mind, just let him flood to death. That's the blob on the lower left of the screen. That is a QR code you can scan with your phone to go to the donation page for our charity stream.
What's the blob?
What's the blob?
Or you just exclamation point Bob's too. That works too.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple of important things to note here. The Indomitable has spotted SmileCRO here, so that means the enemy team now has a general idea and where he can go. The other thing is that SmileCRO does have RDF Benham. What does that mean? It means that if anybody's trying to sneak up on him, for example, that Z46, Z46 is a threat to him because it is a Hydra, which completely counters SmileCRO's torpedo spam, because the fact that, you know, just pop his hydro and spot torpedoes for his entire team. You know, the enemy team dodging those torpedoes is a different matter entirely, because some people have demonstrated that they are incapable of dodging torpedoes. But at the same time, that's basically saying, okay, the torpedoes are coming from this direction. We have a general idea of who this Benham is.
SmileCRO, you suck, dude. Nice job, Stampy. Well, yeah, but I mean, the thing is, so I mean, you're thinking about what the carrier provides the team with, and you're right, it does provide him with a certain level of spotting. It's what the team does with that spotting that matters. And the team's not doing anything. They've been pushed so far down to the corner that they're pretty much done and out. I mean, look at the spread on the Thunder. This is sickening.
This is terrifying. There's 16 torpedoes in the water.
There's the left torpedoes, and now he flipped, and now the right torpedoes are firing off. And here you go. We're about to see a dead Thunderer, I think. No?
Yes, this is
Almost. Almost. I'm surprised the flood didn't tick. Or didn't proc, I mean. But regardless, I mean...
I think the reason why the flood didn't proc was because he had his damage control on. But it's still a humongous amount of damage to that.
Oh, that completely blunts the Thunderer's attempt to try to break out and make something happen. Now he's just sitting here hoping he doesn't burn to death.
And which he will, because, hey, fire.
Exactly. And meanwhile, SmileCRO manages to get the cap for his trouble. Now, mind you, his team is finding ways to die. So that's happening.
The other thing is, there is a Palmer pushing up right on that gap. Right there. Oh, never mind. Oh, that's the Thunder. Never mind.
He's dead. That's a Yamato.
Oh, that's the Yamato.
Hey, who's your... So, I mean, I think this does a great job of demonstrating what this ship can do. I mean, especially considering he's, you know, middle tier, right? It's a tier 10 game. Now, there's one thing that is important to note, which is the carrier. The enemy carrier is an Indomitable, and the Indomitable is best used as like kind of like an airborne ZOW. It just drops HE on targets and sets them on fire, especially battleships. So SmileCRO is very lucky in that the enemy battleship doesn't really care that he exists, because killing SmileCRO isn't part of the Indomitable's toolbox. I mean, he can do it with his rockets, but he's more interested in dropping battleships and trying to burn them into the waterline.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Palmer and a Yamato. Neither of those ships have good aim, stopping him from just chain dropping them.
Yep, exactly. So, Full Metal, I'm sorry to hear you did not get the ship this year. There's always next year.
It's always next year, or yeah.
Grind up some tier 10s if you can this patch cycle. Get your certificates, and you know, try to grab a mega container or two if you can. That could be significant.
Now, just taking a look at the map for a second, what I like, this is what I really like what SmileCRO's doing right here. He's moving up to sort of blunt that curve first. Now, here's the thing. Yes, the curve first is on 22,000 health. That's not a lot of health for even a tier 10 battleship as big as that thing. However, it's more of the position that the curve first is in that SmileCRO needs to sort of go negate, and that's why I like what he's doing. Because SmileCRO is essentially moving up here, and he's sort of gatekeeping against the Kerfurst, the Edinburgh, and the Yu Yang up.
Yep. Well, go back to what I commented on earlier. This ship is great when you can identify where the enemy will push from. And he correctly identified that they were going to push from A. He went to A. And then he's now identified that they're going to push out of C because his team evaporated essentially on both flanks. So, and in the process, he just picked up B on the way. And that happened. So yeah, luck chucking torpedoes for days is fun. Oh look, you got another torpedo hit, this time on the Edinburgh. Oh my god.
Or was it the Edinburgh?
Well, what else would it be?
Because there is a Sevastopol. It's possible that he's pushed up. Sevastopol does have really good concealment, so it's entirely possible that he's pushed in with the Edinburgh smoking, and that's what hit.
Hoosier, I'm glad that you're very happy with the money that you spent and what you got. That's awesome.
Oh, never mind. The Sevastopol's over there, so he definitely...
That was definitely the Edinburgh, yeah. It makes sense, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's Edinburgh smoke, so he's probably sitting in that, looking for the Yamato to shoot at, but nobody's detecting him. And so he's basically just stuck.
Honestly, at this point, like, actually, another really good thing that SmileCRO did was he got those caps. This is something that I feel like is a bit respected, is that capture points are extremely important when playing the game, because they're a source of, you know, it's a win condition for your team.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, he just got another torpedo hit in this poor Edinburgh.
Oh, no.
I mean, like...
This poor Edinburgh. Poor guy. He's like, just... what's spamming with torpedoes? Run your high post, silly. You eat them.
Yep, and there's the smoke to break contact. Now, conversely, SmileCRO could have used his engine boost to try to get away quicker as well. He chose the smoke.
I would have actually gone with the engine boost as well.
Yes, me too.
The reason why, of course, is because it's one charge on your engine boost. It's at Edinburgh, by the way. It's one charge on your engine boost, sure, but you still have 2 charges of that smoke left to use. That smoke can be quite helpful for you to use, for you to have when, you know, it becomes an absolute necessity. Like, for example, that Sevastopol is rushing in at you. Now, Sevastopol doesn't have a radar, but it's still very fast. It's still a very, very big target. So if he rushes you...
Hoosier got 20 mega containers. He got 4 ships out of the deal. That's pretty good stuff. Kaga, Hyuga, Dunkirk, and Florida. Wow.
Those are all pretty good, I'd say.
Hoosier, if you've got any of the black ships, you might have a mission for some extra doubloons. Rita, you only opened 100 of them?
Only
Oh, is
100.
that all?
Is that all? Is that all you opened, Rita? You got 10 ships out of that. Wow. That's actually pretty good. No, wait. Isn't it 12 point... So, you, actually might be a little bit low for that. Oh, look at you with the guns. Being all cheeky and stuff. Turn on your anti-air, by the way. If you're gonna open up and let the thing drop on you, might as well try to shoot one plane down. It just gives you more XP.
It's possible. I mean, it's possible to help the country more meaningful. Does he get the Kraken? Does he get the Kraken?
You got... He
Yes,
did
he
get
gets
the
the
Kraken. You got 4 ships out of 24 megas. You're happy with the coal, Rita? Well, there you go. Good.
Ooh! And Dom just slapped SmileCRO for, I think, half his remaining health right there.
Yep. So he's very lucky that this Indomitable wanted to farm battleships instead of try to keep him spotted, you know, off his game, all that kind of stuff.
And now he's got a better to deal with.
That's right. And a Smolensk. I mean...
And a Smolensk and the GZ can just... Honestly, this is just textbook, you know, destroyer game, torpedo gameplay, textbook Benham gameplay, just spotting for your team, just taking the caps, contesting, and if he gets this will be his 4th cap contest, or like 4th capture of the entire game.
Yeah, he's not going to cap before the Indom dies. Just look at this Indom. Now here's where having that smoke would have been helpful.
Classic Lib, thank you so much for the $100 donation.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Nice job, Classic.
Okay, his smoke just came up for them, so that's good pop.
There it is. There it is.
Baccarat, CC code.
And Halsey, and he killed the Indom. Never mind.
Yep.